Hello everyone, this is Akuchi back with some more Dominion. I'll be starting my league season 72 in the B2 division. You can take a look at who I'll be playing against, some tough opponents here. Starting off with Fircoal, who walloped Mick Senok. No small feat. So yeah, let's get started off. New league season, new beard coming in. See what we can do. Bridge Troll. But we're missing plus actions, question mark? We have city state. Oh boy. Wonder if there's a mega turn possibility with just city state for plus actions. Huh. This is interesting. So sycophant is the source of our actions. What does fawning do? Okay. And there's no trashing. I think I'm not a believer. We can't trash our starting cards. We can't trash sycophants. Um, yeah, I'm not. We can trash. Okay, we can trash coppers with treasure. I think. I think I'm just going inventor. Mm, I'm torn between silver and experiment. I think we go experiment. It'd be nice to not have to buy silver, I guess, in the short term. Our opponent goes for bridge troll. Interesting. I'm gonna go get treasure. All right, let me see here. So on turn 3, I drew an estate. So I have a copper down there. I think it makes sense to trigger the shuffle. It's a little unfortunate. Um, I think I just want to play with probably golds if I can and skip the silver phase. Fawning Inventor is actually a little bit annoying. I'm not gonna actually want that many inventors. Maybe, I guess the kind of neat thing is that you can play, you can use Inventor to gain Sycophant, and then you can like use City State to get an extra action. So it's kind of interesting. You have to discard with Sycophant, it looks like. So that's pretty annoying. So I need to take the key if I want to buy gold here. Yeah, I don't actually think it's too important. To trash coppers. Like, I'll do it when it doesn't affect the price point. But mostly I'm just going to play treasure or money with the inventor since, gaining experiments is nice. Speaking of which, there are no experiments. Somehow our opponent has 6 experiments. All right, they're trying to do something. We'll see if it works. I don't think that was a very good use of their favors. They're definitely like they're not going for a mega turn, right? Because they just use those favors kind of willy-nilly. Incredible. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Um, I think I'll just get experiment gold, and then we'll province next turn. Okay. Let's stop here. Hold on to the experiment. Oh, right, I could have done the sycophant thing. What? This is a very nice turn from our opponent. Hmm. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a sycophant here. I think that's better than a single experiment. Our opponent's got a lot of experiments. I guess that's the upside of the Ridge Trolls. They've got more endgame control. My instinct is that I don't like the duchies. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I'm losing this game. Dang. Okay. Let's go ahead and play both here. Let's cash in. Yeah, plus buy definitely paying off for our opponent. Never bet against Bridge Troll, I guess. This is the lesson here. Okay. We cannot get a province even if we gain in play. Sycophant. We're 1 coin short? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Maybe we can. But there is a problem here. We don't even win if we get 2 provinces. Our opponent's just too far ahead in points. So I think we have to contest duchies. I'm not sure if there's a path back into this game. We lose if our opponent gets a province. I think we can just resign that. Yeah. And I think we just lose in general now. I'm a little confused why they didn't buy an estate there. I mean, they don't need to. But yeah, we're in the position now where we're trailing by all the provinces. If our opponent buys an estate, we're just kind of screwed. Hmm. Yeah. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Well played from our opponent. Okay, we can trash cards here. What do we have for plus buy? We do not have any plus buy. We have Lurker. Makes highway pretty bad. Alright, so we're going to play with a raise. There's no 4 cost. I mean, we might as well open raise, right? I think it's going to be raise silver. I'm going to want a silver eventually anyway. Now opening seems like the best time to get it. Hopefully we hit 5. If not, no big deal. This might be like a 1 raise kingdom. There's not a whole lot. Nah, there's Old Witch. I think we should play with 2 raises. So probably pick up a Taskmaster here, would be my thinking. Double raise opening. That's... Oh, we have 5 copper next turn. That's great. I would like Old Witch, I think, more than anything. Hmm. There's definitely an argument for Lost City, but our opponent did play both of their raises there. So I don't actually want them to, I don't want to trigger the shuffle for them. Yeah, let's do that. Womp womp. This is unfortunate. I think I'll pick up a Lurker next turn, I guess. Which makes me think maybe I should get a Lost City here. Royal Carriage is also pretty flexible. Wow, that's incredible. That's even a helpful hex. That's actually disturbing. Don't you dare. What is this? What the heck is this? Come on. Don't you dare have a cursed village in hand. Okay. Probably carriage is best. Is cursed village any good? If we're not playing with haunted woods, it is. Uh, Fear. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Oh, we just lose our taskmaster. Why are you playing this lurker? I have two lurkers in my deck. Why are you playing this lurker? Okay, I understand now. Well, our opponent definitely got lucky, but they had a good game plan with the building to a very thin deck, getting their lurkers that way, and then like playing with Cursed Village early. It was a good game plan. They just also happened to get very good luck. I'm not sure where they go from here. It is a weird kingdom. Eventually, you just need to buy provinces. It would be nice to have Haunted Woods at that point. The Cursed Village kind of becomes less useful, but yeah, this is a way to gain a bunch of cards for sure. Alright, well, this is nice. We got some good luck. Royal Carriage seems like definitely the card to get, you know? We can keep trashing, that's fine. I think it's probably gonna be Royal Carriage. I don't like. I'm a little confused why my opponent's getting. Oh, never mind. It all makes sense. I was gonna say I'm confused why my opponent's getting so many taskmasters, but it they can keep it going with lurkers, even once they start provincing. And with museum, there's just a lot of points to be gained anyway. Hmm. What else do I want to do this turn? I'm not sure, but I think I want to trigger some draws. I could get a gold of my own. There's a raise down there. So that's the question. Is it worth calling my royal carriage to get an extra raise? Um, sure. Good game plan for my for my opponent. Highway's a little weird. A little bit unlucky. But well played for my opponent. I'm pretty sure that university is going to pay off here. Not entirely sure what kind of deck we want to play with, though. Minion attack can disrupt the farrier overpay. There's like a minion scepter possibility. This is definitely full of interesting possibilities. And you can turtle a minion to like make sure that you start your turn. This is very interesting. I need to think about whether the biphase plan is worth pursuing. Probably not. I think that's a little too cute. Um, there is a problem here in that we can't trash cards. A problem and perhaps an opportunity? We don't have the option of opening Farrier after Potion like our opponent does, which seems like the best open. This is a really weird kingdom. I plan to have a lot of actions in the deck, but I still don't like Vassal because my terminal space is going to be quite limited. I think I want to use every ounce of terminal space I have. In which case, that means we should open silver. I don't like it. I really wish I had the 4-3. Doesn't help much to get Farrier here, but I don't think anything else is better. It just means that there's a 1 out of 7 instead of a 2 out of 7 chance that we miss our potion. It's pretty much the only upside. That was interesting. I think that makes sense. Should we play with Soothsayer? There's no way to trash the curses. That's just a fact of life. But we can always gain a Soothsayer from University. So we have 4 copper left down there. Because we could just overpay Farrier here. I wouldn't mind buying a Smithy. Well, no, that's not what I'm going to buy at all. I'm going to buy a University. I think it's better to keep accelerating. I can see the argument for getting draw. I think I've lost the game. Look at this nonsense. Like, I can resign right now. That's absolutely absurd. That turn from our opponent was absolutely absurd. Whatever. This is awkward because there's no plus buy. It's very awkward. No plus buy, Triumphal Arch. Do we try to play with Altar? Is the question to consider. We get a second poacher. That's a pile that's unlikely to empty. Well, emptying doesn't matter. Arch. Um, is shop or poacher better? I think shop is probably better. It's pretty close, though. It's pretty close. Okay, nice. I think I want to play with altar. So how do we get to altar? There's probably a few ways. I think if we get a shop, um, we have 2 copper down there, I think. So I think we can just trash these, get a shop, and then the number of stop cards we have is just 4. So we're guaranteed to hit 6 for altar next turn. And I think we want to go potentially for mystics. Capital City only becomes good kind of later in the game. I'm not sure where we're getting these Triumphal Arch points from. I'm not sure. Mystic, there it is. Honestly, I think I want another Mystic. They have a Mystic in a shop down there. I think we go with Mystic and then Capital City. I do not want to see all these Mystics in my starting hand. Maybe I should have gotten 2 Capital Cities there, and then I could like gain and play a Mystic. Just be a little bit more reliable. All right. This is unlucky. Unlucky. Okay, this is good though. Nice. Don't. Just don't. We have all the money we need. So probably the best thing is to get Capital City. All right. I mean, I've been getting lucky with the Mystics. It's fine that our opponent is too. Okay. Playing these poachers seems fine for now. We can draw with Capital City, but we shouldn't need to. So we have a Capital City, a shop, and a province down there. Okay, that was odd. All right, so we're kind of sort of even now. That's nice. So we don't need the poacher. One of these poachers, one of these shops, whatever, we can get rid of with our altar. I think it makes sense to probably gain a duchy. I think it's fine to draw. Because we can discard. Right? Alright, we have just two provinces down there. We know exactly what's going on here. We could get a duchy, but I think it actually makes more sense to go Capital City Mystic. Our opponent just doesn't have the ability that we do. So we might as well go for reliability. Okay, so if we get a Mystic here, a Mystic and a Province, we're in the driver's seat for the win. I think we start with a Mystic. We have 2 provinces down there, along with a duchy. 2 mystics, 2 capital cities. Let's go. Oh, we have the shop also. Wait, what? Oh my god. Whoops. I don't have a duchy in my deck. Okay. We can still win, right? I was so stupid. I forgot what was in my deck. Wow. Okay. Okay. Poacher seems better in my deck than a shop. Because we're not going to empty any pile. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so what if we play Capital City, don't discard anything? And then we alter for Mystic, play Capital City, discard 2 things, and then play Mystic. That works. That works. It's not quite how I wanted it. Because I'm in a top deck of Province, but it does work. Okay. It does work. And now we just need to hit Province, which should be trivial. Okay. Okay. Probably we want Province. Okay. We got a game. See if we can get another one. I think playing for the altar was definitely correct there. Gave us a lot more control. More options. Maybe our opponent just didn't have that option. We definitely had good draws. Sook. So how crazy is Sook here? Pretty darn crazy, I think. Maybe? I think recruiters into Sooks, and then we play with some cavalries. I think that's all correct. The question is whether we should open with a hermit. Our opponent does it. Um, there's a lot of tomb points to be gained, potentially. So what do we combine with hermit? That I'm not sure about. There is a potential to banish on a hermit turn, although that's very unlikely to work out. Cavalry next turn is actually pretty decent. I think I'm into it. Let's go. Let's get a madman, I guess. Maybe our opponent had a 4-3 and they couldn't do what we tried to do. Sack a loot, huh? I'm not convinced that that's the play. Oh. Uh, actually, I think I want to just buy a cavalry here. Cool. So now what? Um, yeah, it's like the payload, we have to decide whether it's sack of loot or souk. But we don't need to decide that at this very instant. There's a lot to be said. A lot to be said for sack of loot. But you know, souk's pretty good too. We're out of horses? Our next turn might not be very good, but we can buy a cavalry, I suppose. Just trying to decide if we want to buy a cavalry preemptively. This is the moment. This is the moment of choice. This is where we need to decide whether we're playing with sack of loot or souk. It's hard to get rid of these coppers efficiently. We can do it with recruiter or apprentice. Neither is ideal. Neither is ideal. Man, this is real close. This is real close. I think Sakalut is just a little easier to play with. I think it's just a little easier to play with. It's also a gainer that makes it easier to get tomb points. We do need some draw, though. Journeyman, Apprentice being the most efficient kind of draw. That was... What? Why play that Hermit there? That's a lot of Hermits. Hmm. Excuse me? I did not know this interaction was possible. Oh, I see. Well, that is news to me. Really? That's all we have, huh? Okay. I mean, that trick ends at some point. I am thinking about... We could buy yet another cavalry. Our opponent's got a pretty nice trick going on here. I kind of want that to stop. Should we trigger this shuffle? I think so. We are definitely out of actions. So, I want a recruiter. Maybe we just don't play this hermit. I think our goal is to empty cavalries, so our opponent can't do this trick again. They can collect quite a lot of madmen this turn, probably. I did not see that interaction. Insignia is nothing special. Pretty nice one of. Oh, wow. Banish 7 copper. That's pretty cool. Hadn't considered that. Hmm. That is quite neat. So I think we got to deny these cavalries for sure. So we can potentially do what our opponent was doing. All right, do we want a hermit? Is the next question. We're gonna get some madmen here. Um, it's probably just good to have a gainer. And we'll want to banish this turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and plan to get one, to use one madman this turn. Probably we want to pick up an apprentice at some point. Maybe the following turn. Insignia is pretty nice. Insignia is pretty nice. Okay. 10? 10 cards here. Well, that seems great. Hmm. Maybe we should gain a silver here. Now that I'm thinking about it. Seven, 9. So we can have up to 11, 12, 13. And then however many coppers we want to keep adds more. So we definitely want another sack of loot. That puts us at 7. Banish. Yeah, let's just do that. I think I think we just want to see the top of our deck with a bunch of horses. I'm not entirely sure what we're recruiting, to be honest with you. Maybe we have to recruit. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I think we have to recruit one of our cavalries, maybe. Maybe we just don't play the other recruiter. Doubloons, that's not bad. Oh, this is bad though. Doubloons is a pretty good target to recruit. I guess I could have trashed a horse, right? Instead of that cavalry. Uh-huh. Sword is pretty good. Hammer is pretty good. They have a sextant, which is also good. All Alright, so we each have 3 cavalries. Our opponent has 2 hermits, right? No, 1 hermit. We each have 1 hermit. We each have 2 recruiters. We each have 2 sacks of loot. Guess we'll just see where it goes. Our opponent's got 1 more madman than us after our next turn. So we're definitely on the back foot. Hmm. Seems overly defensive to me. Now we could get unlucky here. We did not get unlucky. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Alright. Once again, we can gain a silver. Oh, are we? No, we got sack of loot is plus buy. Okay. I think we're all pretty good here. I'm just gonna get another. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret it, but it's not like a big deal. Maybe if we get a province, we can kind of threaten to win next turn if our opponent gets too many provinces. I don't know. I think it's probably correct, though. Okay, their last madman. I don't think they have like a 5 province opportunity. And if they get 4 provinces, they probably win, but not guaranteed. If our opponent gets 2 or 3 provinces, we just win. So they won't do that, presumably. If they give one province, that's probably out of our reach. But it's probably out of our opponent's reach next turn as well. But not necessarily. They have 3 sacks of loot, which is pretty intense. They have no apprentices, but they can pick up some apprentices here. So one province, some apprentices, maybe a duchy, would set our opponent up in a pretty good spot. And then 4 provinces, if they can afford it, puts me in a tough spot as well. I think it's unlikely that I can come back from that. I don't know if our opponent can afford that, though. Can afford all those provinces. But the 1 province line certainly looks good for them. I had 21 coins, and I added 6 to the deck, so 27. I can get up to 29. I don't think I can get. You know, the only way I could potentially get it is if I got my coppers out of exile. That'd be crazy. And drew them up somehow. Like if I can apprentice a province. So yeah, that's a potential way for me to win if our opponent takes 1 province. It's a potential way for our opponent to win right now. If they can get their coppers back, maybe they can afford 5 provinces. I kind of doubt it, though. Pretty close, though. They're out of villagers. They have 1 more recruiter, though. They're using up all their villages, so presumably they see a win. Is a hermit, and then there's some other pile. What other pile? Do they have enough buy for estates? I do not have enough buy for estates, that's for sure. Looks like our opponent does, though. Hmm. Oh, exactly enough. Yeah. Nice find from our opponent. I did not consider the estate line. The hermit estate 3 pile line. Alright, our opponent is up 4-1. Hopefully we can win this last game. Alright, what are we doing here? There's landing party. Is there any way to cheat out treasures? I don't see it. It's a pretty, I don't know, pretty uninteresting game, I'd say. Uninteresting board. There's not a whole lot going on here. I suppose we can do Cursed Village type stuff. It just gets awkward once we start greening. Or we can do Stowaway Landing Party Draw. The payload is Mystic or Treasures. Cut Purse doesn't seem very good, especially if our opponent goes Cursed Village. It can actually help out. So we have a 3-4. Remake is worse than usual here because of shelters. I mean, we can get Guardian from the shelters. You can also get like one estate, which ends up like also trashing Hovel kind of thing. So we could just rely on Sentry for trashing. It's a little bit... Alright, do we even have plus buy in this kingdom? Because if there's no plus buy, maybe we want to... Well, there's Herbalist. Oh boy. Maybe that does lead us to Remake. This is weird. This is weird. To remake or not to remake? The Cursed Village thing, like you can play with mystics and such. It's... And you play with Herbalists, so you have multiple buys. It just gets tough when you actually want you know, to add green cards to the deck. I think it just kind of falls apart. Whereas the Stowaway deck plays a little bit better. And if you have full access to Stowaways, you can get pretty good draw. It's still not great though. I think I've convinced myself to play with Remake and probably Cursed Village. Oh, great. Our opponent just opens Sentry. So this one's interesting, right? So should we get a estate here? To trash the hovel. And then we can remake that later into something else. Or we could just hold on to the Necropolis because it's pretty good in a Cursed Village deck. And so we could just get Herbalist plus Guardian. Even potentially double Herbalist. So next turn we have 5 coins, which is pretty good. We can go with Cursed Village. I think we maybe do hold on to the Necropolis for a little while. 6 doesn't do anything for us, so yeah. Huh. I mean, we can get 3 Herbalists here. That can't possibly be correct. Uh, this is weird. I don't really need this Guardian. I don't know. This is very weird. I think I'll just trash a copper. I know it's weird. It is what it is. What the heck? Famine discarded my cursed village. Opponent trashed 2 copper. Okay. That's okay. Not amazing. They have 2 shelters coming up there. Really what I was hoping for? Um, pageant. Pageant's pretty nice. But the things I can buy from pageant are not as nice. So I think I might just get Mystic or Cursed Village here. Hmm. Hmm. All the herbalists. Let's go. Let's do it. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? There's a question of whether we want to trigger this shuffle. We don't have a choice. Never mind. Okay. Now, I think we just get a Mystic. We could get Cursed Village number 3. I actually don't. I'm actually kind of on board. Envy. That doesn't matter much. This is not good. This is not good at all. So, I don't think we actually have to trash here. We can be a little bit greedy and just take the pageant here. I think the pageant will pay off. We should have a good turn. Like next turn we should draw and stuff. Okay, they bought a cut purse which got trashed. Okay. Yeah, this is a little greedy, but I'm doing it. Oh, okay. Well, this is very nice. I think we're gonna be just fine. Cut purse is not gonna do anything anyway. Oh, they have a remake. Interesting. So they only have one herbalist. How are they possibly going to win with one herbalist? Conquest. That's a bit surprising, but kind of interesting with remake, I guess. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Unluckiest draw ever. Oh, man. So unlucky. Oh, this is brutal. I got punished harder than I thought was possible. Should we play with a sentry now? I think we just have to hold out. Alright, let's play a landing party. Actually, we could get a mining village. I don't like landing party very much here. Mm. That was so unlucky that remake was bottom decked. And also that it was herbalist and remake on the bottom. That is very unlucky. If I don't see a cursed village here, I think I've lost the game. But we do. Oh, okay. Here we go. We're in the game. So our opponent's doing conquest stuff. Should we join in? I see the vision from our opponent. I see the vision. They seem like they're gonna need more actions than they have. I mean, we've got more cursed villages than they do. But they have better draws than we do. And they're a little, they're a little cleaner now. Hmm. Do they have any more draw? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Oh, they do have more draw. Okay. Pretty good. Sometimes, things just don't work out your way. Sometimes they just don't work out your way. We took a few plays that were a little bit greedy, and we got really punished for them. Really punished. I feel like there wasn't a real. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily regret those plays. We just got extremely unlucky that Remake was bottom deck that one turn. Extremely unlucky. And our opponent just doesn't get any duds. No duds whatsoever. Their deck is capable of dudding. They only had two cursed villages for a long while. They're cleaning up their deck pretty nicely now, but jeez, this is real rough. Real rough. This is a weird strategy our opponent came up with here. I don't care about this. Okay. We can we potentially remake 3 times? Let's defer that decision. Okay. I think the answer is yes. I don't think that does anything. Well, now we're clean. For whatever good that will do us. That was optimal. Locus. That was literally the best locus I could have gotten. Wouldn't it be cool if they dudded? You know? Wouldn't that be nice? Their deck is capable of dudding. It's unlikely at this point. Their chance to dud is kind of passed them by. So we're just following in this weird Conquest remake world. It's gonna end on 3 piles, I guess. Lots of decisions. Collecting mining villages could be nice, because we can have like a big turn with them. It's, our opponent's definitely better situated with their 4 cursed villages compared to our 3. I don't know that we can really slow down to get another cursed village. Double Conquest is worth more points. Hmm. I could trash this mining village to remake. Hmm. For some more mystics. Nah. What do I really want? Okay. I'd like to trash my remake, right? It's a bit risky. So our opponent has a really good turn. Really nice starting hand. Good to know. Isn't enough to like win though. I think I like the double conquest. We gotta play greedy again. I wish it weren't so, but why would you wish for silver? Guess it's all fine. Looks like our opponent's going for it. Will they get there? More cursed village. No, another cursed village. Yeah, they've got a lot. They can potentially do some loopy stuff here. Yep. 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 Friendly greed. Unnecessary. Okay. Hmm. Well, we got beat pretty badly. That was a good play from our opponent, and we just got just a little bit. I mean, we were close that game. We just got unlucky. That one turn might have made the difference between who was in the driver's seat. That kind of lost me at least a half turn. Um, just kind of messed up my build quite a bit. So tough start to the season. See if we can stay afloat and recover. Until the next one.